Okay. It's a little bit higher than I'd like it to be, but
Better than down
the
by
way
your
it was
knees.
before. Yeah, you don't want anything hanging below your knees. That's for sure. All right, you ready?
Yep.
You're listening to the podcast where we talk about life, sports, family, and everything in between. Welcome to Just Talking Out Loud with your hosts, Ron and Terry.
Merry Christmas and welcome to another episode of Just Talking Out Loud. I'm Ron.
And I'm Terry.
Mm-hmm.
This is already
This is
Christmas.
Christmas week. This is it. December 23rd. This is Christmas Eve. So people are rushing around.
Trying to get their last minute things done.
Last minute stuff. Terry's
will,
not...
will we be running? No, we have to run before that. The
we
weekend
have to run
before that.
Yes. Our Christmas will already be over.
Mm-hmm.
But Terry's under the weather, which seems like I say that like every third episode.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. It just seems like you're always fighting a cold, or when you're around kids, that's what happens. It's natural. It's not. It just is. They get sick. You get sick.
Gave me a cold last Monday. Well, it just barely started last Monday.
Yeah.
He had it Monday, and Tuesday I started with the scratchy throat and stuff. So it's been a week, and now it's kind of in my sinuses.
Yeah, it's in your teeth. It's funny because I had a toothache and went through all the process and I went to the regular dentist. The dentist sent me to another dentist. What do you call that? A
specialist.
I don't know what you call it. A non-something dentist.
I don't know.
And they took x-rays. It cost me, of course, insurance doesn't pay for it. That's $175. They say, well, I don't see anything. I think it's your sinuses. So it's been bothering me again. And now that you've had sinus problems, Nathan has sinus problems, Beckett has something going on with a runny nose. And I noticed that my nose is running.
Ben had a bloody nose today.
I hope that's all it is. But hopefully no one's sick and we can all stay healthy for the holiday. That's number one. And did you get everything you wanted to get? And how much you're going to spend? We're going to talk a lot about spending money, how much. Also going to find out.
We've never really overspent.
No, we really haven't.
I mean, even when the kids were little, I mean,
I did this year.
Well,
because I bought,
the kids something, but
I did buy them. I bought them. I wasn't going to buy it, but if it wasn't on sale, I would not have bought it. But it went on sale, $80. That's a lot. That's a big difference. And Fen will love it. So
I just always remember the Christmas that
it's a monster. It's a ride on. It looks like it's not a monster
it's
truck,
a Jeep,
but it looks like one. Yeah,
like
he'll think it's a monster truck. So that's all it matters. So,
but yeah, I always remember the Christmas that RJ wanted a program for the computer that was like $1,000, and he could not believe that I'm like, I don't even spend that amount on Christmas. He's like, really? There's always so much. I'm like, yeah,
we're good
start
with money.
Early, and I put things away when I can get them. If a store's going out of business or something. He's like, that one year we got all them Legos. I was like, yep. What was that? Not Pool City. What was that?
Value City.
Value City. Went out of business, and I got Legos, 75% off, and then 90% off. And I got them August, September, and I stuck them in the attic, and it looked like we spent tons for Christmas.
I didn't really ask a lot of questions this week, so I don't have a lot of questions. The only thing that I'd asked two, but I didn't get any on the second one. What lunchbox treat did other kids have that your mom never bought and is now your guilty pleasure? That was one of the questions I had. And she always made our lunch because we wouldn't eat lunch at school. At school, I always brought my lunch. I brown bagged it. But as far as a guilty pleasure, I don't really. M&Ms have always been my Three Musketeers, but that wasn't something we would put in lunch.
I don't remember anyone bringing a lunch when I was little.
You ate at the school, right? You probably didn't.
They had cold lunches. We didn't even have like a warm cafeteria. They had cold lunches delivered.
I think we had pizza and stuff at ours.
Like it was a turkey sandwich and a cookie and a apple slices or something like that in it. It was like a foam, you know.
I should have asked more Christmassy questions.
Yes.
You know,
You didn't think about it
I didn't
being
think
Christmas.
about it because, you know, happens sometimes. It kind of gets away from you. But like I was going to, well, let's start with this first. And this was the other question I had. And then we'll get into more Christmas stuff maybe in the second half of the show. But there's two things I want to talk about. One is the question I had. This one says, from the outside, we all appear to be shiny and perfect, but that's not the case. We're all imperfect. And yes, sometimes gross. Confession time. What's the gross thing you do? And it got a lot of
do you want to hear
response. Yeah, I wanna hear.
when I
Well, that's what I
cough,
do. You know I do that. I'm bad at because I have all this phlegm.
and I gargle, and it comes and the water comes flying out my nose.
But I also bite my fingernails. That's really bad. And it seems to be when I get nervous or really start chewing on these bad boys. That's a lot
What
of
do you have to be nervous about?
No, I don't know. It's just like it's like a nervous habit. I don't know. Just that I do.
Your sister used to do that too.
Kim said that you first, so I said. And then Matt said he chews his fingernails. Alan said snuff. Penny says, I don't even confess to a priest, and you want me to put it on the internet? Fat chance. So she's not going to even say that one, yeah. So no one really, would say what they're...
anything really gross.
Gross, like, do you pick your nose and put it in your mouth or something, stuff like that, you know what I mean? Yeah. Clean your ears out and then smell it. Maybe that's how you smell your armpits. Let's see if you're like, you rub your
Clean
armpit.
your belly button out. And
clean your belly out. Yeah, belly button out.
Ooh, that stinks.
That's nasty. Nasty.
Smells like
Okay, so I'm going to do a public service announcement because we've talked about this before. I've gone through it, having colon surgery and colon cancer, and I saw this story today, and it made me realize that there are people out there, and this guy's only 34 years old, that have warning signs.
And they ignore them.
So this is the story of this 34-year-old who was diagnosed with incurable colon cancer. And now the good news is, because of all the advancements, he is right now cancer-free. Believe it or not, even though they said
like he's in remission.
Stage 4, but it's in remission right now. But he was talking about, and this is, Did
you have any of the signs?
Not what he had.
Okay.
No. The only thing I had is when Rigby, Zach said, Rigby had eaten something and
the vet,
or no, I don't know if it was the vet.
Said asked if he had been wormed or something. And he goes, what do you mean wormed? And he goes, well, he came from a farm. He could have pinworms or something.
And Zach thought we would have something from him.
And so Zachary wanted me to buy like a colon cleanse with something that would kill pinworms and stuff like that. So I found some kind of cleanse and we all took it.
Right. And that's how then my symptoms, when I started I only took like maybe, I don't even know if I got through a week, and then I started bleeding. But here's how this, his name is Joe. I hope I say his last name right. It's Faratzzis. So I don't know if it's Fartazis or something.
Fartazzi?
Maybe. But anyway, he was suffering these problems since 2019. And he said one of the symptoms that he had was a dull, mild ache in his lower right abdomen from time to time. But he said it was so dull, I got something in my eye, that it was easy to ignore. And he'd forget about it. He did visit his doctor, who asked about his bowel habits and referred him to scans, but he wouldn't go through it because he thought it was unnecessary. 6 months later, began noticing blood in the toilet and on paper. That's how I noticed. And he went to the bathroom again, but claims it was he wasn't too concerned about it. Anytime you see blood, that's especially, in that situation, you should be concerned about it. It didn't alarm him, so he didn't do it, and it happened every day. At this time, he was 28. He was 28 when he started feeling this stuff, and he said that he thought he was invincible, and that's what a lot of young people think. And 2 more months passed by. He sought medical attention. he began to bleed very heavily. They did a colonoscopy, and that's when they found the cancer. And he said a lot of it had to do with just the fact that he wouldn't even do like a basic, they have to take the finger and all this stuff.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do that. He's embarrassed. Well, what's more embarrassing or what's more scary? Having that and catching it early, or having someone tell you have stage 4 cancer?
And like you were afraid of having a bag. You said, just shoot me if I have a bag. You didn't
I
want
was. That was one of my worries. And they even said that, it was a possibility that,
if they
depending
take
on the
too
surgery.
much and it doesn't work, then
It could be that, depending on where it is. A lot of it has to do like where
it is in
where you can
canal.
reconnect. And, God is good and it all worked out. But my point is here, I guess
Don't ignore
don't
signs.
ignore it. If you've got signs, I don't care how old you are, blood, you've got pain, awkward
Any kind of
pains.
pain.
The colonoscopy is the easy part. Seriously, it's the day before.
Oh, it's the
going-
drink and the crap.
It's the drinking
for the
and
colonoscopy.
going to the bathroom and getting all. That's the worst part. You
And
go
you
to
get
sleep.
to do that in the comfort of your own home.
Right. Even though, if you have a comfy bidet, if you have a bidet, it makes it a little easier on your Bongolio because because it doesn't chap up as bad and get all raw. But that's the hard.
Go get a good
part.
water bottle for that day.
Oh yeah, that's true. I never
Put
thought that.
warm water in it, squeeze it after each.
Homemade bidet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the bottom line is, listen, I had put it off a little bit. I was 52 when I finally did it.
You had put it off. They had recommended you have one, and I don't have any problems until we took that cleanse or whatever it was that
Right.
I bought. And I was like, well, if anyone was going to have problems, it'd be you, Zachary, because you've had stomach problems your whole life. I would think that he would have been the one that come out and said, hey, that stuff made me bleed. And I probably would have made him go get a
Right.
colonoscopy if it did.
But if you want to give me a present, go get checked. If it's your time to get checked, please go get checked because we want you to be around.
Yeah.
We want you to stick around. We don't want you to have to go through, this poor guy went through a lot because he ignored it all. And luckily, right now, he's
Okay.
fine. He's okay. But when it'll come back, where, when,
I wonder if he's
who
on
knows?
that pill. Like,
It
some
doesn't
people could
say.
take some kind of pill, puts it in remission.
Yeah, it doesn't really say. And he did have some tumors in his lungs and his liver. That's what made it to stage 4.
Okay. Because it had already spread other places.
And he undergone more treatment. He had further surgery in 21 and 22. And right now he is clear of cancer. But they said they don't know if and when it might return. So again,
Because he had it in more organs. He can't, like you had to go for a colonoscopy for every 6 months.
yes.
And then every year.
Then it was every year, and now it's every 3.
But because it was in more than one organ, he probably has to have more testing
I'm
done
sure.
once a year.
I'm sure he does. But again, that's my public service announcement is, if you're having some symptoms and you're afraid, don't be afraid. Because I never had anything done. My whole life, I never had surgery, never broken nothing. So when they said they're going to cut you open and you got 4 holes around your belly and a slash right above your belly button, and they're going to take out a foot or so or more of your colon, then you tell me what's scary. But not having that diagnosis afterwards, I was lucky. I had the polyp was cancer, but nothing else. It didn't spread. So I am thankful to Rigby. That's what you're waiting for
Yeah.
during.
'Cause
But also the doctors.
I keep telling you, Rigby saved your life,
Yeah, I know.
and you don't believe me.
I know. But yeah, it's please, if it's we're having issues, get checked, and let's stick around for many, many years. You're going to have grandkids. I'm thankful I'm still here to see my grandkids, and we want you to be that way also. All right, so the word of the year has been revealed. Merriam-Webster's revealed some of their top 10. I didn't have all the top 10. The one word that they said is the most polarization is the number one word. That's the word that's been awarded the word of the year.
Polarization.
Yeah, because the election polarized everybody, and you have two sides, and everybody blah 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 that stuff. So that was their word of the year, is polarization. So is that we are polarized now? Is that the new thing? Is that what we're headed for? But that's what they say is the number one word for this year in 2024. So I have a bunch of things for Christmas. We just get into Christmas.
Yeah.
Let's just get into Christmas because I'm in the holiday spirit. I'm watching my snowman blowing the snow. He was on his face. Snowman was on his face.
The Santa Claus, you mean?
The Santa Claus, the snowman was on his face too. I had to pick him up, and even though I have him tied, but it's apparently the wind is just too much for him. Can't handle it. But I'm ready to have the kids open presents, and we had this was 2 weeks ago, but we had our breakfast with Santa. It was great. Had a good time. Kids got to come. They weren't sick for a change.
Thank goodness.
So we were talking about spending. Let's go with the spending, and then we'll talk about people are going home for the holiday, but they're going home for kind of a weird reason. We'll talk about that. But this one is parents are going to spend an average. How much do you think parents are spending this year?
For a child?
On each kid. Yeah, for each kid.
$400 or $500.
Okay, that's way, way high than I thought you would.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Other people go in debt over it. I never did.
Well, these must be people like us who realizes that, hey, we
can't
should have a budget.
Okay, then $100 a kid.
A little bit more than that, but you're right around there. So they asked the question, is there a normal amount to spend on your kids' holiday haul? So if we were back in the day, we have 3 kids, we would spend how much money? Because you did most of
about
them.
$100 a kid. But like I said, if I found a store closing and got some bargains, they went in way
Legos,
ahead.
remember Legos?
Oh yeah, the Legos.
That was Value City.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so
They
back
got
then, now we're
tons.
talking about the 80s and 90s and early 2000s when our kids were
Trying to think if
growing
there were
up.
any other years that I had put, things away.
When did the video games kick in? Because we started buying video games because we had the rock. Remember, we had the Rock Band and the Xbox and PlayStation.
That was during that time too.
So,
Because
yeah.
we bought one of them when it came out brand new with the foster care money. We went and bought was it the
Intellivision.
Xbox? Was it the Xbox?
Oh, the Xbox. Yeah, we bought an
that
Xbox.
we bought brand new because I always said I would never buy them brand new. I would wait a year until they get all the bugs out of them, and then
Oh, yeah.
and then we did end up buying that new because that was like the main gift. And then I bought them each games.
They weren't cheap back then because you're still talking 30, 40
No,
bucks
I think
back
that
then.
was like $400 or $500. That was more than I ever spent.
Yeah. But that was on all of them. We did
Yeah,
this
that
one
was
big
their
gift.
main gift. Yeah.
So they did this poll of 467 moms that had at least one child the age of 5 or younger. So that makes a difference too because
Oh, and they were 5 and younger. I didn't spend but 40,
yeah, that
50
makes a
bucks
huge
on 'em.
difference. That's very different than if you've got someone
But
over
nowadays
8.
they have more out for them 4 and 5. Look at the TV commercials.
That's true. There's a lot.
Spidey that dances and crawls. They have, these. Look at the Bluey toys that we bought a couple
Yeah.
years ago. They
Yeah.
were like $30 for the Bluey bus or the Bluey school or whatever.
Right.
There's some real, like if they're into something name brand, they're a lot more expensive than they used to be. I mean, I went and bought coloring books and puzzles. Trying to think what else they liked. Play-Doh.
Is there a gift that you got as a child that still kind of brings
My Mia doll.
that was that? Okay, I was going to ask you because if did you ask for that? Did you know what I mean, or was that something that
I
was?
think I did, but I found it.
And what is a Mia doll?
They were like dolls you could pull hair out of their head and make it longer.
But it wasn't like it
Mia
wasn't
and
small like a
Chrissy.
Barbie. It was one of the ones you put on
No,
the.
it was about.
That's
a
what I
regular
thought. You could
baby
do its
doll
hair
size.
and everything.
Yeah, and then it had you could dress it. And
But it was. What do you mean dress?
Janet got Chrissy and I got Mia.
So it was a
and-
full.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
I
was
was,
like, no, it was, I don't know.
but it had legs and arms.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the one that you put on the table and you could do it. Remember that one that just had the head and the
Oh,
shoulders?
I got
And you
that
do its
like,
hair or
I
something?
got that maybe 5th or 6th grade.
I don't remember this Mia doll.
Oh, it was gone by the time. I don't know what happened to that.
Well, how old
I
were you?
wonder if when we moved, it got left behind or we lost a box.
How old were you? Do you remember? Like
When I
you got
got
this?
it?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like
4, 5, 6,
kindergarten, 1st grade,
6,
something
5,
like that.
6.
We knew what we wanted to open because we snooped in Mom's closet because we were allowed to open one present on Christmas Eve.
And you snooped around, huh?
So we knew what was,
That's a shame.
what we wanted to open. Yeah.
I got, I was, I had 2 sets of grandparents, so they were, we had the $6 million man, we had G.I. Joe.
You had a little car you sat in. I saw you sitting in a little like
Oh,
pedal
that was
car.
when I was only.
We were little.
Yeah, that was one of the pedal thing, like almost like what Fender, that white one. But that, I don't remember that really that much. But I remember as I got older, we had Evil Knievel in the truck, and we had the bike, and we had $6 Million Man and the Rock. I mean, anything that was, relevant.
G.I. Joe.
G.I.
You had the
Joe.
lockers.
We had the lockers. We had that big, it was like a, what do you call that? A command center truck that, it was huge. This thing was big. We had 2 of them because my brother got one and I got one. It wasn't like we just got one. We both got one. That's like the Turtles, we had 2
of everything.
Of
2
everything.
sewers, 2 technodromes. Yeah.
I don't know why we did it, but that's how we did
2
it.
vans.
2 vans. But I remember that kind of stuff. It was a lot. I was very lucky. I was very blessed for sure. There are kids out there that are, they don't,
Didn't have a
parents
lot.
try, they do the
My
best they
mom
can.
said my brothers had no toys at all. They didn't have any toys.
No. Oh, you mean when they were younger?
Yeah. And then they moved when I was 6 months old and left everything in the house in Florida. They put my crib on the roof of the car, strapped it to the roof, took what they had to for, and then she had a girlfriend pack up 2 crates, 2 like round barrels. That's the brown barrels that were in her basement out in Claysville that I had burned that one time. And she put them on a bus and sent them from Nokomis to Sanford, Michigan. Yeah, or wherever they were at that point. And she just packed up her pots and pans and her linens, like her towels and her sheets and stuff, so that she wouldn't have to go buy them. She put them on a bus, shipped them.
Bus. A UPS back then, huh?
Yeah.
No.
And that's how she got what she got out of that house. And she started with a brand new house in Florida, all new furniture and everything, and they left it all there.
Yeah. Because of job, right? Your dad?
Yeah. My dad didn't have a job at the time, and my grandfather said, "Come up here and I'll put you to work building." And then he had been building for him down in Florida, and he already knew that he didn't pay him as well as other people did. But he moved up,
Yeah.
And then I don't think he worked for him very long at all. He got another job.
Right. So, on average, parents are going to spend about $173 on presents for each kid. But moms report spending less per child the more kids they have, which, today's inflation, I understand that. Families with just one kid shell out about $202 on presents for the only child, while those with multiple kids, about $170. Age is also a factor, and that is a factor because as they get older, some of their presents get a little bit more expensive, especially if they're in sports.
If they're into any kind of
Hockey,
sport,
ooh.
or if they're into any kind of video games. Video
Parents,
games are expensive too.
Oh, video games are up there. Parents of kids between one, well, now it's even getting, the presents are getting a little weird because the presents are that video thing that Ian has.
Yeah, on your face.
That you put on your face, that VR type stuff. Now, I don't know if you can buy the games within it. it is pretty wild because you put it on, and it's wild because you feel like you're kind of, whoa, you kind of take a step back.
He wants a new one this year?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, you think he wants one, but I don't know if he's going to get one. So also a factor, parents with kids between 1 and 4 are, and again, it's all about age, right? A lot of it is how old are the kids, because the prices can be, like you said, there's so much out there. About $161. Those with babies are going to spend $168. See, the babies thing, that's when you like what it's
and
more.
How much hand-me-downs and stuff do you have for that baby? Like if you had a pack and play already, if you had, like we bought Ben that little Einstein or whatever it is, it's got the piano and the.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So Beckett had that. So we didn't spend any kind of money on him last year.
No.
Now this year we spent a little money on him.
He's one and a half. Yeah.
1.5.
But the thing of it is, when you're like baby, you're looking for practical, like
we
diapers.
We didn't plan on buying this for him yet, but we did.
Like diaper. Oh, I forgot to have you take the milk to her.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway.
Friday.
Let's see if I can remember. Gen Z moms also tend to spend a little more than millennial moms. Gen Z moms about $179. We're only talking about $9. Somewhat surprising considering the average household income is around $56,000 compared to millennials. It's $76,000. That seems a lot. That's a lot of money. A lot different. Somebody's making some good money, but even so,
we never made that kind of money.
No, we never have. Last one before we go to break, and then we're going to talk about there are people going home for the holidays, but when they get home, they're wanting to do something in their childhood bed. We'll talk about that. Also, I'm going to pair drinks and food to your favorite Christmas movie.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do that. But first, let's talk about Christmas movies and Hallmark movies. I don't know if you know this or not, but there are 10 plot points for each
Hallmark
holiday movie. So you can probably think what they are, even without even saying. So this website /film, they gathered like 10 points, at least 10 points. There's more that is repeated in every Christmas movie, especially from Hallmark. So did you know that one of the points, holiday movie plot points, is every character is either named Holly, Eve, Nick, or Chris? Make sense? I didn't know if you noticed that or not, but that's usually how it is. All these movies return to a small town. They always go back to a small hometown. There's always conflict between small and big business. Got to have that in a Hallmark movie. People resist the obvious romantic partner. You know how you always know that's the one they're going to hook up with, but they got to, they rub them the wrong way for at least, 50 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
Whimsical head trauma or amnesia. There's always something like that going on. Magic exists. It usually happens in a Hallmark movie. A Grinch rediscovers joy. I think I've seen a couple of movies like that on Hallmark. A literal Santa Claus visit in one of the movies. The town comes together. And number 10, and the most important, no one has sex. So there you go. Those are some plot points for a Hallmark film.
They don't show the sex.
They never have sex. They just smooch and live their life without being bothered. I always have a headache, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, we come back. We'll talk about why people are going back home.
The inkling that it might have happened.
Inkling. There's no inkling. And food and drinks to pair with your favorite Christmas movies. We'll talk about all that next. So you want to start a podcast. Maybe you're listening to the show today and you're thinking to yourself, boy, that would be fun. And I have a lot of things I want to talk about. Maybe today is the day. Maybe you're looking for a new marketing channel, or you have a message that you'd like to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have a talk show. And it is a lot of fun just talking to your friends. Maybe you have ideas about sports, life, or whatever your passion is. Today's the day. Podcasting is easy, it's inexpensive, and it's a fun way to expand your reach online. And where should you go? Buzzsprout. It's hands down the easiest, and it's the best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast and your show, believe it or not. can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories in minutes, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, and you wouldn't believe how many more there are. And they make it simple to join all of them. Podcasting is not hard when you have the right partners, and Buzzsprout is the team to join. They are passionate about your success. You can join over 1,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout. We're one of them. We've been on Buzzsprout from the beginning, and I'm so glad I joined up. I had a little bit of an issue, emailed a customer service rep, and they got back to me within 5 minutes, and they had me calm down. It wasn't that hard, and what I was doing was my fault. So here's all you got to do. Click on the link in the show notes. It tells Buzzsprout we sent you. You can support our show, and if you get a paid plan, you get a $20 gift certificate from Amazon. Now, here's some other things that Buzzsprout provides. Like, you get a great looking podcast website. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I got to get a website, got to pay for that. No, you don't. They provide it for you. Also, they have audio players. Maybe you have a website, and all you want to do is promote your show on your own website. You can do that with their audio players, and you can also drop it into other websites and on Facebook or Twitter, and they help you do it all. Believe me, Buzzsprout is the way to go. They've helped me immensely, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So maybe today is a day for you to start your podcast. And if you do, check out the link below in the show notes and get a $20 Amazon gift card. All right, so we're less, before we start this Christmas, I want to ask you about this. So we're about a month, or we're less, we're like 2 weeks away from 2025. What are you looking forward to? I know this is early. We should be waiting to our New Year's Eve podcast. But is there anything you're looking forward to in 2025? Is there
a wedding?
Well, yeah, I know, but other than just
wouldn't mind a couple
besides
weddings.
that,
I wouldn't mind a couple weddings.
I mean, are you just looking for? I mean, some people have had a rough 2024, want to have a nice start, but someone noticed something a little different about the start of 2025. They noticed that on the calendar, it starts on a Wednesday.
Oh.
Because January 1st is a Wednesday.
Oh, it's on
just like Christmas is a Wednesday.
Day.
It's on a hump day. So the first 3 days of the year are Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So if you take those initials, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's WTF. What the fart? And they said, should we be worried about 2025? It's already starting out to be WTF. It accumulated 12 million views, this person that put this on there. And someone said, the scariest comment that came about this when this person said, this kind of freaked me out a little bit. This person said the last time they noticed that this happened on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was 2020. And of course, we all know what happened in 2020. We were all shut down because of a COVID. But if it was going to happen, it would already started. You know what I mean? Like it happened early in 2019.
I don't know. They say
September.
in 10 years from the last one, there's going to be another COVID come through.
Well, we're not 10. We're 5. COVID is 5 years old. And now we
went fast, didn't it?
It did. Now we're saying COVID instead of a cold.
Yeah. There's no such thing as the flu now. You got COVID or you got nothing.
So people are heading home for the holiday, and apparently going home, 52% say they're going home for the holidays to get frisky in their childhood bed.
To get frisky?
Yeah, want to get frisky. The article.
So you want to sleep with me in that little twin bed and get frisky with me.
Oh my God, would that be? I mean, you talk about tightness. Oh, that didn't sound right. Do you know what I mean? Like you'd be
on the twin bed. I'd have to hold on because I'd be rolled out. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't think we could make it work. I mean, come on. It's not like we've never done on a twin bed.
You're so bad.
I mean, let's be honest. We've had, well, never mind. So what I did was I put the whole story and I had AI kind of condense it so we could have some talking points. So anyway, this is what I put in the whole story, and this is what it says. So it says, Merry Christmas, the holiday hookup survey. The article reveals that a surprising 52% are returning home for the holidays, plan to get frisky. Yes, you heard it right. While parents might want to stock up on mistletoe, their adult children are ready to embrace some holiday cheer of a different kind. Among those singles surveyed, 39% will attend holiday gatherings solo, many preferring to avoid the awkwardness of introducing a new date. Some just want to enjoy the festivities without the without the pressure of romance, while others are saving their plus ones for more serious relationships. That's kind of a balancing act. And then the season of romance. 2/3 of respondents believe the holidays are the most romantic time of the year. 41% of singles reporting they hook up just as often, if not more, during this time of year compared to others. Seems the holiday spirit, I guess, kind of gets them going. The connection with Christmas carols, everybody's singing. The survey also highlights that nearly 30% expect to hear from an ex during the holidays. 21% plan to reach out themselves. But be aware, a significant portion has regretted holiday hookups in the past. So you might want to, I guess, according to this, be careful. And let's not forget about the cheeky side of holiday. 22% admit that they're going to be bringing home some sex toys to the house. So if you hear any bzzz, it's probably not their toothbrush.
How about screams? Whips.
Oh, man, cracking the whip. Half of those didn't have, well, let me try this again. Almost half of those who did have or
You're
had some.
Excited just to talk.
Just thinking about it. You said whips. It threw me off. But it's the way they worded it. It says almost half of those who did have had someone find them, yet a surprising 42% said, it's no big deal. Weren't embarrassed. Would you be embarrassed if they found something that we might have?
Toy,
we don't have any.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think I would be embarrassed if someone.
I think I would be
especially
too.
if my little kid came out with it. Hey,
they're
what
running
is this?
down the hall with a giant, penis, a fake one.
How would you explain that to a kid?
Well, that's mommy's friend. I don't know how else you would explain it. You couldn't, as they're whipping it down the hallway, banging it off the wall. And last, we approach the new year. Many are reflecting on their love lives. 42% plan to prioritize serious relationships in 2025. Others are content while keeping things casual. And the theme is embrace pleasure, set boundaries, because who doesn't want a little joy amidst the holiday? So a lot of people going home to find pleasure in one way or the other. So if you just go home and see the family, you don't have to do all that. It's only a couple of days, isn't it?
Oh, depends. Maybe you're staying a week.
Yeah, there was a story, I think it's on
here. You
here.
can't do without it for a week, can you?
About how long it takes you to get over the family. Here it is. How long it takes the average person to get sick of family over the holidays.
1 day.
Research shows it takes less than 4 hours.
Yeah, I mean, the 1 day that you have to eat and be with them all day is enough.
So 4 hours, you need a break. And where do you go for the break? Usually the bathroom. The survey also said that adults who travel to visit family for holidays found they spend an average of 3 hours and 50. Oh, do I not have the rest of this? I hate when I do that. It didn't do the whole story. Well, that stinks. 3 hours and 54 something.
Minutes.
Maybe in the bathroom, trying to get away.
Or in the car, traveling there.
Oh, that could be. Maybe that's what they're spending to get there. Unless you're flying there, you got to pick them up. Staying for the whole week.
Still, it's 3 hours, an hour before and an hour after your flight.
Yeah. And for those kids, you got to remember a study out there said Santa's Christmas Eve journey may seem impossible, but with 2.5 billion homes, he only needs 34 microseconds at each stop. So that's 48 people per square kilometer on Earth, 20 meters between each home. I think Santa can do it. If anybody can do it, Santa can do it. You got to have hope a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, remember they have turbo and everything now, too.
Some people are already suffering from Christmas stress. Are you stressed? We don't seem stressed.
I don't get stressed.
I'm not stressed.
If it don't work out, okay. Oh well.
You get what you get. You
And
try to
if
do
it
the best you
doesn't,
can.
and if someone's not happy,
You don't like
then,
it, take it back.
Yeah.
6 in 10 parents are already suffering from Christmas stress. The survey said the biggest stress creator is gifts, finding the right ones, paying for them, and then finding a
Returning
place
them.
to hide them.
And returning them.
Well, hopefully you don't have. Hopefully you don't have to return them. That's why I think gift cards are the way to go. Don't you? I know it seems kind of, I guess, I don't want to say
Easy.
not as
Personal.
but if that's what they want, then they can get their own thing.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that? I mean, I don't think you should really feel like, because I think that's always been I don't want to get you a gift card. But if that's what they're asking for, because I like gift cards. I do a lot of iTunes, a lot of music from my station. It's really helped me the last couple of years, saved me a lot of money by having that. In fact, I might have found a program that's might be even cheaper. But it's not iTunes though, so that's gonna. But if it's like $1 cheaper to buy each song, it'd save you some money. That's for my radio station. But as far as I like Amazon, iTunes, Bob Evans, right? We like our breakfast.
Eaton Park.
Eaton
That's
Park,
our place to go when I don't feel like cooking.
When it's that it is. Well, we went to Outback and it cost us $80. Actually, $90.
Well,
Because you got to add the
but
tip.
it was my birthday, and we really kind of lived it up a little bit.
Well, yeah, we did.
I got steak and shrimp.
You did. Yeah, you did. And I thought I did pretty good getting you a present.
Yeah, you did do well. You did well with 2 presents.
I got you 2 presents, yeah. What are kids asking for? Mall Santas describe weird things that kids have asked for. I always wondered, like, what do kids, when you're not listening, what are they asking Santa for?
What are the mall Santas?
So this happened on Reddit. The Mall
Daddy
Santas.
and Mommy to get up and cook breakfast on Saturday morning.
One child said he told Santa, when Santa asked what you wanted for Christmas, he said a fax machine.
A fax.
That's back in the day. One kid wanted a remote controlled buffalo. That's a little different. A unicorn starter set. Somebody wanted one of those. One kid wanted uranium. Not sure exactly. That might be a kid that you might want to watch out for a little bit later in life.
Yeah.
Another kid said he wanted fish and chips. That's pretty easy. That kid's easy to please. Another mall Santa said a kid asked for a Nordstrom gift card. There's another one you got to watch out for. It might be hard to keep that one. Please, if you're looking for Nordstrom, is Nordstrom like pretty expensive?
Hi.
And finally, mall Santa described weird things kids ask for: a flamethrower.
A flame.
Boy, there's a lot of, you got to start worrying about a lot of these kids. There's 3 stages of life. Do you know this? You believe in Santa, right? You don't believe in Santa, and then you become Santa. That's pretty much how it goes, too. I feel like I am Santa with my, my stomach's not quite as big. But I think I could do a Santa, couldn't I? No.
No,
Why? Because I don't have a butt?
you're just not built like Santa.
Oh. Does that turn you on like Santa? Is that a sexy beard and doesn't turn you on?
Yeah.
There's no place like home for the holidays, and I do love my home. But according to a survey, apparently it isn't necessarily a positive. A significant percent of respondents said that holidays spent at home consistently failed to meet their expectations. What kind of
Wow.
expectations do you have?
My expectations are to eat a lot and go to sleep.
Yeah. Eat, feel fat, unbuckle your pants because they're so
Maybe watch a
tight.
good movie and
Watch a movie.
snooze and just relax a little, chill, take a chill pill.
Favorite Christmas movie of all time?
Favorite Christmas music of all
Is there
time.
anything that
I don't know.
if you sat down and you had a choice between A Wonderful Christmas, that's James Stewart, the old one.
I don't think I've watched that whole thing all the way through. Ever.
What's the Miracle on 52nd Street?
Straight.
Christmas Vacation. What else is there? There's another-
Planes, trains, and
Well, that's more of a
automobiles. Those
Thanksgiving.
I
Well,
know,
that's a
but
Thanksgiving
but
one.
you usually watch that over the Christmas season.
Oh
You
yeah, I
usually
love
watch
that movie.
And you usually watch
The Grinch,
Yeah,
The Grinch, the Charlie Brown Christmas. You got to include those. A Muppet Christmas,
Oh,
which
that
we
one's
have.
funny. The
That's a good
Muppet
one.
Christmas.
The-
is
yeah,
they
back in the-
slide on the ice.
Yes,
Woo!
that is
Yeah,
that is so good.
it's
I
funny.
love that one. That is so
I'll
good.
go with you on
And it
Swedish
included
Chef.
everything that he ever, like he did Sesame Street. He had the Muppets. Then he had Fraggle Rock. They all came together. They all were in the same house. It was really funny. It was really good. When
The
he wanted-
Swedish Chef.
he
And
wanted
they
to
were
cook-
hiding the turkey.
He wanted to kick Big Bird. Over the bird, the big bird.
He kept measuring him for the pan.
Okay, so here's if you're going to watch Christmas movies, I'm going to pair foods with drinks. So if you're watching Home Alone, you want to have microwaved macaroni and cheese. I don't know exactly why. It says
Because he's home alone.
Well, that's true. It says when 8-year-old Kevin gets left behind by his family, and they go to Paris, he makes most of it by watching our movies, goes grocery shopping, and the kid eats on his plate. You got to have macaroni and cheese. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, it's an ice cream sundae. So you'd want to kind of have that with your with that movie. The Santa Claus. Oh, I forgot about the Santa Claus. That's a good movie too. The original. Well, the second one's not bad either, but the original. Judy's Special Hot Chocolate. Remember when that was? She had that this is really good. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. A Whoville Feast. Who Pudding. Roast Beast. That's what it says here. Roast Beast. Who's Dine on Who's Hash. The Holiday. I don't remember. I don't think I saw The Holiday. It says Christmas Fettuccine. Elf. Oh, you got to have Buddy pasta. Remember he ate all that pasta?
With the M&Ms in it.
M&Ms and all that stuff. I forgot about Elf, too. Elf was a great movie.
Yeah.
It's still a classic. The guy that was in it, that played his dad, his real dad, hated that movie. He did not want to be in that movie. I lost his name right now. But he was not doing well with money, and he needed money. So he did the movie, and it became because he thought the movie was going to suck. And of course, it's a
the
classic.
Kids would love it.
It's
yeah.
a classic.
It's a kids movie. They love that great big elf. That
If you had to pick something with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, what kind of food or drink in this case?
I'm trying to think. They have their grandparents there.
Picture the remember when they're all in the house, they're all there, and Eddie's there. He's got that little dickie on, that sweater with the little and he's drinking out of
a coffee cup.
Remember, he's drinking out of that mousse.
Oh,
His eggnog.
egg.
Drinking eggnog. It says eggnog would be perfect for National
Yeah,
Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
when they come in, they're all
He's-
drinking eggnog. And she has her hand on his.
Yeah.
When the
And a
SWAT team comes in.
A Christmas Story is Chinese takeout because their turkey got eaten by the neighbor's dogs. So they had Chinese takeout. And I just forgot about some of these movies. I just completely forgot. Elfin. Man, how did I forget about Elfin? That's a good movie. Or Buddy the Elf, right? Isn't it Elf?
No, the elf. That's Elf. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But that one, and then Christmas Vacation, and just forgot about a lot of Grinch. All those movies
Well,
are.
Christmas Vacation you usually watch.
Yeah,
too.
I usually watch. But I'm just saying, some of them. I don't
We
like
u-
the Wonderful
we
Life.
used to watch what's his name? Christmas. Why can't I think of it?
I don't know, what is it?
The kids when we had the video store, we watched
Is it a Christmas movie? You don't know who's in it?
yeah. I can't think of
Well, then
his
you don't know
name
who's
right
in
now.
it.
Yes, I do.
You might know who it is, but you don't
he
know
did
the
a
name.
lot of movies. He did we watched one of them down at the pool one year.
You mean like John Candy movie?
No.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Ernest.
Oh, Ernest Saves Christmas.
Ernest Saves Christmas.
Ernest Saves
Ernest goes to camp.
Jail.
Ernest goes to jail. Yeah.
But Ernest Saves Christmas.
We watched
did watch
one of
that
them Ernest ones. Ernest goes to camp or something down at the pool one year, didn't we?
Yes, we did. We watched Ernest Goes to Jail just
was it to jail or was it to camp?
Camp. Ernest Goes to Camp. All right, we're going to leave on this one. The most dangerous Christmas songs to drive to.
Most dangerous ones?
The most dangerous songs to drive to.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Apparently, the research suggests that these songs can have a psychological and cardiovascular effect.
There was a trucker on the freeway driving to one today on the way home.
Oh, really? At what?
I don't know. He was going really fast, and he pulled around me to go in this. He was going to go in the third lane when it was ending right there.
Oh, when you get to South Point.
Yeah, I pulled over behind that. I got in the other lane, and I was like, this guy, that lane's ending, and he's whooping around him like he's in a car, in a semi, and the guy speeds up in the truck in front of him. It was like a pickup with a thing on the back.
Trailer?
Yeah, no, not a trailer, just like a camp thing. You know what I mean? And he speeds up. When he starts pulling around him, he speeds up. Doesn't let him around him. And you know that's ending, and so he had to pull back behind him. He almost rear-ended him. Like, what do they think, that these trucks can just stop? You're like...
Apparently, they think they can.
So when I saw him coming on my butt, I just got over. I'm like, okay, you guys can have it. Watch that truck jackknife him, I'll be off on the brim on the other side.
So these are the top 10 most dangerous Christmas songs to drive to. Number 1. Well, let's start at number 10. Number 10, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. Okay. That's number 10. Apparently, that's a dangerous song to be driving to. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I like that song. What's wrong with that one?
Yourself.
Yeah. It's hard to do when you don't feel good. You have no voice.
I know it didn't come out at all.
No, it didn't. They're going to think that there's something wrong with our audio. Number 8, because
it's just my voice.
Number 8, I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day. Number 7, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I can't get stuck in your head. What was that song it's not stuck in my head now, but it will be if I say it. We were watching one of those kids' shows, like chorus shows.
Gingerbread House.
Oh, the gingerbread. Yeah, that's yeah, something about the gingerbread house, and it was stuck in my head for hours. Number 6, Let It Snow, Let It Snow.
Let It Snow.
Let It Snow. Those are dangerous songs to drive to. Number 5, Happy Christmas. That's the John Lennon song. Number 4, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I don't know why these songs are dangerous,
Santa
I wonder.
Claus
Does it say why? It probably does. I just threw the paper away. Yeah, it just says to help protect people on the road. Study authors analyzed a long list that includes every classic Christmas tune. Says you could enjoy high-energy tracks, but some fast-paced festive tunes are more likely to distract us while we're driving. So we're at number 3 is Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
I could see us like belting off Feliz Navidad. That's the only part of the song I really know. And then number 2 is All I Want for Christmas Is You, which I believe is that's a Mariah Carey song. She makes a fortune on that. And the number 1 song that's dangerous to drive to, The Worst Offender. It's a 1950s classic, and it's deemed the most dangerous to drive to with its 172 beats per minute tempo is, any ideas?
Deck the Halls.
Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty is dangerous to drive to. So if you have, I don't know, do people listen to holiday music in the car?
I don't know. Well, if it's on the radio.
I don't know. A lot of stations, I mean, there are stations like,
that do.
I think 3WS plays it
all the time.
Right after Thanksgiving. Boom.
All the way to Christmas.
It's all Christmas all the time. So by the time Christmas is over, you're about Christmas out with the music.
By the time you get to the Christmas week, you're already sick of it.
Yeah, I don't play it on my station. Like I kind of mix it in here and there. Because it's kind of nice. Oh, there's a Christmas song. And then you go into something else. And then you don't expect it. It's kind of nice. But it's one after another after another. It's almost like a Hallmark movie.
Some of them do
Same
it just
plot.
on the weekends.
Huh?
Some of them do the Christmas movie.
Yeah,
just on
some
the
just do on the weekends, true. But here we are, Christmas Eve, and I guess the bottom line is we wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
Yep, and a Happy New Year. And we'll be with you. I think we're going to have, well, I don't know if we're going to take a break or not, but for New Year's, I know we have a lot planned for 2025. So we'll see how that all goes. Yeah. But yeah, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Be safe if you're traveling. Be safe. Be merry. And
Christmas
be bright.
Day, I don't plan on traveling anywhere, right?
No, that's going to be, Christmas Day, we're going to be here, cuddled up.
Is that our week?
On our twin bed, snugly, cuddly.
We don't own a twin bed.
Well, we can pretend like it's a twin.
Oh, well, I guess there's one in Mom's.
Yeah. She might be occupying it tonight. A little bit weird.
Yeah,
if you don't mind. I don't really want to do that. No. No thanks.
Is that our week here?
It is.
Okay.
Yes. So anyway, so
and
Merry
you're probably
Christmas.
off all week, right?
Yes, I am. So we want to wish you a Merry Christmas and have a great holiday. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget, every Monday we have a new episode, and so we'd like you to subscribe and send us out to your friends. Tell us what your favorite gift was. Maybe a gift that you had as a child that you still remember today that really meant a lot. Text it to us. So we'd love to.
The other thing was my Barbie camper.
Oh, okay.
My Aunt Jan bought it for me. My mom told her not to buy it.
Not to buy it.
Because it was too
So that's really tells her I'm buying it.
It was too expensive.
Oh, well, back in the day.
But Aunt Jan bought us whatever we circled in the magazine.
Oh.
And my Aunt Jan never had kids of her own, and she bought every one of her nieces and nephews something expensive.
Well, God bless her. She had a rough life. We'll get into that another time. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook or X at Just Talking Out Loud. And thanks so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. And again, Merry Christmas. We're out.
Have a great week.
You can say Merry Christmas too.
Oh, I guess I should say Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Say it again because you broke up on you.
I know, but I
Your
don't know
voice
if my
is
voice
gone.
will come up.
It's gone.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show.